Hey, this is just a short video on how to solve the equation 3 times the tangent squared of s is equal to 1. So I've already got it solved here. You can actually pause this video and just look through my work, or you can follow along with some of the verbal cues here. All right, so the first thing I did was I divided by 3 on both sides, so that's what you see on this line. And then I took the square root of both sides. Don't forget though, whenever you take the square root of both sides, you have to remember the pos neg. A lot of students tend to forget that. The square root of 1/3 is the same thing as root 3 over 3, so I have that tangent of an angle s is equal to root 3 over 3, or tangent is equal to negative root 3 over 3. Now, what I did here is I just used the concept that we learned earlier in the semester about all students take calculus to remember which quadrants this was going to be in. So when tangent is a positive number, that's going to give me an answer in quadrants 1 and 3. When tangent is a negative, is equal to something negative, that's going to give me quadrants 2 and 4. And then I used my quotient identities. Tangent is the same thing as sine over cosine. So if I take tangent of s and replace it with sine over cosine, and just carry down the root 3 over 3, I know that just using some of my unit circle values, that if I take 1/2 divided by root 3 over 2, because these always come in a pair, in a coordinate. So if my sine value is a 1/2 and my cosine value is a root 3 over 2, if I divide my fraction properly, I'm going to get root 3 over 3. I didn't show the work with that, but if you drop, change, flip, or multiply by the reciprocal, you will get root 3 over 3. It actually is a 1 over root 3, and then you rationalize the denominator. Okay, so what we're looking for then is we want a sine value of 1/2 and a cosine value of a root 3 over 2. So that's going to occur at this position of pi over 6 and at 7 pi over 6. Of course, with 7 pi over 6, both of these values are going to be negative, but a negative divided by a negative is positive. Now, unfortunately, that would be a wonderfully lovely answer, except for the fact that at the very beginning, we were told that our answers should lie in this interval right here. And this makes it a little bit trickier. So let's keep in mind that the two answers I have right now are not valid answers. Those two answers would fall in between 0 and 2 pi, and I need a different interval. So I'll come back to that here in just a moment. But let's first of all take a look at when tangent is negative. Again, I need my sine value to be a 1/2 and my cosine to be a root 3 over 2. Yes, one of them is going to be negative. And that's going to occur at 5 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. Again, these four solutions, the two here and the two here, that would be great if my interval was from 0 to 2 pi. But it isn't. So this is going to be a little trickier. So here's what I did. And I have to be honest with you. I took a couple of minutes to think through this because my brain just simply doesn't work like this. And so what I did was I drew my two circles again with the two spots marked. With the two spots marked on them. So I know these are the positions I want. I just want in a different interval than what I'm used to working with. So I started at pi. I know this is not normal, but I started at pi and I worked my way backwards to negative 2 pi. So let me show you what I mean by that. Here's pi. If I go backwards, this is pi over 2. If I keep on going backwards, this is pi over 6. So pi over 6 is one of my solutions. So this is pi, I'm working backwards, pi over 2. This is pi over 6. This is 0. Well, now that I'm at 0, I'm going to start going negative. So this is going to be negative pi over 2, and this is going to be negative 5 pi over 6. So that's one of my solutions here, negative 5 pi over 6. Here's negative pi. Here's negative 3 pi over 2. And then if I keep going, this is negative 11 pi over 6, and it's one of the positions that I want. Here's negative 11 pi over 6. If I were to keep going, I would finish up at negative 2 pi. So that takes care of my whole entire interval then. And again, I worked backwards on it. That's not really normal, but my brain just would not go the other direction. Okay, so let's do the same thing then on the other circle. Again, let's start at pi and let's work our way backwards. So we have pi. The first thing that we come to, if this is pi, I know that this is 5 pi over 6. So that's going to be one of my solutions. And this is pi over 2. I get to 0. Now I'm going to go working backwards. So 0, this is negative pi over 6. So that's my next one. Keep on going. This is negative pi over 2. Negative pi. After negative pi is going to be negative 7 pi over 6. So here's negative 7 pi over 6. This would be negative 3 pi over 2. And this would be negative 2 pi. So I don't go any further than that. So hopefully that will help. I even tried, you can see down here some of my work. I even tried doing like a number line concept where all of my values were going to be from negative 2 pi all the way to positive pi. And again, my brain was just having a hard time working backwards on that. So that was why instead of working like that, I just started with pi and rotated in a backwards direction. Hope this is helpful.